It's World Mental Health Day 2024, and I would like to share with you one breathing technique that can be really useful for lots of different situations. But first of all, I wanted to talk a little bit about my own mental health. I've been notoriously cagey about talking publicly about what's going on up here, and really happy to talk about how we should be reducing the stigma around mental health, but then kind of not really engaging with that myself, and being vulnerable enough to talk about it. So a bit about me. I have ADHD. I was diagnosed as an adult, so I lived with it for a long time, and there was lots of kind of mental health problems around that undiagnosed situation. I also, on paper, have bipolar tendencies, bipolar bowler, you can call me, and I guess that I would say that the thing that bothers me most day to day is anxiety. Around everything, but also because of this kind of bipolar tendencies, the mood tends to be up and down quite a lot, and yeah, that's kind of difficult for me, and it's difficult for people who I share my life with. And one of the reasons I got into breath work and breathing and being a breath coach is because of the positive impact that this practice has had on my mental health. And I've seen it happen, the positive impact it's had on other people's mental health. I've seen it firsthand. It works. And I think the reason it works is because, well, if you're worrying about something, the worst advice someone can give you is, don't worry. We all know that doesn't work. It doesn't work, does it? How do you just stop worrying? If you're feeling anxious, you can't just say, well, just stop being anxious. It doesn't work like that. That's kind of this higher level stuff that you can't necessarily have direct access to, or it's too complicated. Sometimes we're anxious because of a multitude of reasons, just because it's stressful to be a human being in the modern world. What we can do is grab hold of something which is fundamental to all of these mental states, good or bad, which is the breath. We can work with our breathing, and we can try and understand how our mental states might be affecting the way we breathe. One of the things that happens a lot is that we don't breathe enough air, or we breathe too much air. If we get stressed and anxious, there's a tendency to breathe faster, to breathe too much air. There's also sometimes a tendency to hold the breath without realizing it. So this exercise is a great way of tapping into that and breaking that process. And as a result, if we can recognize that our breathing has been affected by our mental state, if we can then alter our breathing, we can alter our mental state. So this is the way it goes. You just need to kind of sit upright, plumb line from the head and all that, erect spine. Try and do this all through your nose. I'm going to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Pinch your nose and hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds. Breathe normally through your nose for about 10 seconds. So about a couple of breaths. And when you've done that, you do it again. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Pinch your nose and hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe normally through your nose. When we breathe through our nose, we activate the diaphragm much more than if we breathe through our mouth. This means that the vagus nerve is excited, and it sends a signal to the brain that the body is relaxed. So that again, breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Pinch your nose and hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathe normally through your nose for about 10 seconds. Also, when we breathe through our nose, we stimulate the production of a gas called nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is a bronchodilator and a vasodilator. It opens up the airways. It makes it easier to breathe. So again, breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Pinch your nose and hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe normally through your nose for about 10 seconds. Also, when we do this, it's normalizing breathing volume. If you've been breathing too much, we're slowing things down. If you've been holding your breath, we're just getting back into a normal breathing rhythm. So again, breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Pinch your nose and hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe normally through your nose. We also, by doing this, we increase the levels of carbon dioxide just slightly in the blood. And carbon dioxide is also a vasodilator. It opens up the blood vessels. You get a better delivery of blood to the tissues and to your brain. Better delivery of oxygen to your brain. So when you're ready again, breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Pinch your nose and hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathe normally for about 10 seconds. Keep doing this exercise. Do it. I do this first thing in the morning and I do it before I go to bed. I also do it several times throughout the day. You can do it anywhere. If you feel a bit silly doing it in public, don't pinch your nose. Just hold your breath for 5 seconds. And in doing this exercise, you regain control. Perhaps get out of your head and into your body. And I think that sometimes a symptom of a lot of mental health issues is a feeling of a loss of control of external sources, maybe from external places. And we can bring it back to ourselves and back to something we can control. I really hope that you find that exercise useful. I hope you can take it into your life. It's dead simple and it works. And, show it to your friends and your family. And let me know how you get on down in the comments.